Hi everyone. I'm bringing you this week's reflection from my living room, mostly because, like many of you, life is just a little chaotic at the moment with a house full of people, and I find that being able to talk to you, even if it's just through my phone, is actually easier and feels better, especially with George running around the house. So I hope that this message finds you well, finds you in your own homes tucked away, and in a less chaotic spot maybe than my family has been over the last few days. I'm wanting to talk to you all a little bit about where we are in the midst of this pandemic in general, but also as a parish church. If you will remember, when we first closed the doors of the parish church and started working and doing everything from our homes, our hope had been that we would be able to gather again come mid-May. May 19th, I believe, was the date that we had originally hoped for reopening. May 19th is going to come and it's going to go, and our doors are not going to be open to the public or to any of us right now. And so I just want to check in. I want to let you know what's happening with our bishops. I want to let you know what's happening in the parish, and let you know where I am on this as well. We are in, I believe, our eighth week of doing this all from our homes. In some ways, we've found rhythms that work for us, and in others, we're just getting tired of not being able to get out and for some of us to work or to see people that we love. And that's hard. We know that what we're doing is saving lives, and for that we are grateful. As we move forward, a few quick things. One, there is no other group of people that I would love to be doing this alongside than you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for the work that you're doing, even if it feels like you're doing very little. Thank you for continuing to check in on one another, to send uplifting notes and poems and drawings and texts. I love hearing from you all, and I love knowing that so many of you are checking in with one another. Please do keep that up. A reminder that the church is not the building, the church is us, friends. And you all are killing it when it comes to being church during quarantine. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you too for those of you who are continuing to lead various pieces and parts of our worship and of our church from home. It is a great help to me, certainly, but I know to the whole parish. And last but not least, thank you to those who are continuing to give faithfully. It means so much. It means that we get to keep everybody on payroll, that our choristers and our staff and everyone are continuing to get to be paid, to have work, and to keep doing the work on the behalf of the church. So thank you. And if you can continue to give or haven't given but would like to, there's a place on this newsletter for you to donate. So thank you for that. The bishop, our bishop, Marianne Buddy, released a statement this week along with the bishops of Virginia and Maryland, letting us know that they too are proud of all that we are doing. They hear our discomfort in having to stay put, and so appreciate the work that we are doing by flattening the curve. They also know that people are anxious to get back to worshiping together in one place. They have put together a document that lays out kind of a phased reopening, a gradual reopening, and what that might look like. They have committed to trying to do this together and in sync So the Diocese of DC and Maryland and Virginia all working together so that all of the churches, Episcopal churches in our area will be slowly reopening their doors together and hopefully doing it similarly. They're following the advice and regulations set forth by our local leaders, our governors and our mayor, and they are in constant communication, especially with Mayor Bowser. So we're waiting to hear from DC what the gradual reopening looks like, and then we are putting in place contingency plans in the diocese about what that looks like for our Episcopal churches. Know that the bishop's office is here to help. They are also putting together checklists for us for safety measures, for how we do our liturgies, how close people can be, the mandatory masks and all of those kinds of things that we will have to check off and give to them before we can reopen our doors. At the parish level, know that your wardens and your vestry and your staff are all working together on this. In fact, we're putting together a contingency planning task force to work specifically on our own phasing in, as we can only imagine that it will be, not knowing exactly how or when this is going to happen. We're coming up with plans probably A through G, depending on what we're told and when we can start getting back on track. We won't be able to open the doors and invite everyone in all at once. We know that. This will be a slow reopen. So stay tuned for more information about how we make that possible. But we will do our very best to communicate with you all along the way. Look to this newsletter and the website as often and frequently as you can if you have questions. We'll be looking at things like how close can we sit, where can we sit, how many services might we have in one day so we can get as many people in as possible. We will continue to have online offerings. Those are not going to go away. There are so many people, even when the rest of the world begins to reopen, who will still have to be at home for their own safety and well-being. So we will continue to do online worship and content. It may change, but it will still be available. If you have thoughts, ideas, or concerns about any of these things, as always, please feel free to contact me, your wardens, your vestry members, or your staff. We would love to have those conversations with you and to hear anything that you are thinking about. We will continue to do our Bible studies and book studies online, at least in the beginning, so that everyone that wants to join in can join in. I've said it a million times in this time of quarantining and isolation, but I truly believe, friends, that this is one of the best things that have ever happened to the church, in that we have been forced to remember that we are the church. It's not the building, it's not the pews, it's us. And we've been given the opportunity to experience church, not just in our own parish, but in other parishes and other forms of worship. So many of you are checking in with family churches or friends church service, or doing compline with a different parish. Other parishioners from various other churches are coming in and being part of our book studies or our Bible studies, or are finding our videos on Facebook about how we put our music together. We're sharing and becoming one church in a way that we never were when we only went to our own parish on Sunday. It's a good thing. This sharing of ideas, sharing of worship, this opening of the church is a good thing, and I pray that we will continue as we start to re-enter, whenever that is, that we'll continue this sharing, we'll continue taking care of one another and checking and making sure that no one is left out, that we'll continue inviting our friends and our family members to listen to a piece of music sung by a choir, or to hear a homily that you found particularly moving, that we'll continue to share our faith in all of these new and incredible ways. There are so many good things coming out of this time, out of this difficult time. I pray that you see them, that you too are grateful for them, and that you too will start making your own contingency plans, that as we do start to shift and head back to some form of gathering again in churches and schools and work and parks and museums and all sorts of things, you'll take some time to mark those things that have stood out to you as being grace in this time, and make sure that you carry them along. Our world will only be better for it. Friends, I miss you. I miss you terribly, and I can't wait to one day be again in the same space, worshiping together, laughing together, sharing food and stories and hugs. But until then, know that you continue to be in my heart, always, and in my prayers. If you need anything, we are here. Life is messy, but we are here. So let us know. Be well. We'll see you soon.